Sadly has been preparing for this matchup versus Wanda Mike. He's been prepping for it. He's been working with Remy. He has been really focusing on this matchup with Wanda Mike, and we do have a little bit of a video to show you guys, a little bit of hype. So let's get that going.
Excellent. Taking one out of Wanda Mike's book, huh?
Yeah, he's awesome to work with. Me and Sadly have been friends on Rocket for a while. We both came from Xbox. He does a lot of coaching as well. So with me and Sadly, it's like bouncing back coaching ideas more or less. With Barney, he wasn't SSL in ones. So we were trying to like get to that level. But with Sadly, it's like we're at that level. Now how do we counter like someone who's really good at that level, right?
Dude, if he goes for stuff like that, you're gonna destroy him.
It's really nice to be able to get out of my comfort zone and play something that I've never really done before. Like I've never been a ones player, but I have had the skill to compete in that. I think I really just have to force him into wasting boost. I will just have to kind of force him into the air. He does love the air a lot, so I just have to kind of make sure I have good defense and get good touches to where I can capitalize on it. Because if I defend an air dribble, the chances of me scoring are pretty high. I'm smelling an air dribble bump, to be honest.
You called it.
I don't think that there is any other way to get used, or just to like get more used to seeing like air dribbles besides like I guess twos, but like defending air dribbles and air dribble bumps and stuff like that Wanda Mike might do, because training packs don't work for that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
The only way to do it is ones or twos.
Air dribble bump.
So yeah, that's fake. Out of all the 4 goals that he got scored on so far, 3 of them were fakes.
From what I've seen, he doesn't play too much defense. I think I could starve him out enough to get some solid shots on net that he can't save.
Quality.
How many Wanda Mike replays have you watched so far? I'm going to say like 7. My key takeaways from his playstyle from watching those videos would be that he, once again, always on the ball, tries to make sure he has 100 boost at all times so that he can go for his fancy plays. His offense is super high pressure, just going for flip resets, going for double touches, you name it. Any of the fancy plays he's going for. So to counter that, me and Sadly came up with the fact that if Sadly can defend an air dribble or anything, Wanda Mike leaves himself wide open all the time.
I think the way I play and the way I can handle the way his playstyle is, I think I do have a pretty high chance of winning if I do play well.
Maybe Wanda Mike might switch up his playstyle if he sees me talking about it like this, but you know, he might just be so into that playstyle. I don't think he knows how to switch.
I'm thinking Sadly takes at least 1 off him.
Welcome back, everybody. As you saw, Sadly has been prepping really hard for his match versus Wanda Mike. Once again, it is a best of 5. It is the SSL Division, and like every other series, you do get a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card if you get the proper prediction. While we predict, chat predicts, we all predict together. All right. So, Mustache, what do you think? What do you think about the video, though? What do you think about his prep?
You know what? I think we saw this last time in URLC 1 where we saw Barney get coached by Ranny, and I thought it helped. I thought it worked out against Ranny, and it definitely gave Barney the extra, you know, skill to try to go up somebody that was so much higher than him. I mean, it wasn't a balanced matchup, that matchup, but it helped Barney, you know, overcome certain obstacles that Randy put up. Now, granted, Randy did come out with the win, but this matchup is a little bit more evenly matched up. Both players are really more 2s and 3s players. Obviously, we all know who Wonder Mike is. He's got a stellar career, currently sitting on Ducks on Quack with Alpha Kep and Omar. They literally just came out of the Pittsburgh Knights Arena monthly event that's going on right now. I believe today was day 1. I watched some of the early matchups. Wonder Mike looking solid, but again, that's a 3v3 matchup. That's not 1v1. If Wonder Mike makes a mistake, he's always got Alpha Kep or Omar to kind of bail him out. Now he's got to make sure that he's on point here. And it's the same thing with Sadly. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think the coaching from Remy is going to help out, and it's going to have to, because, you know, Volts, Wonder Mike has a great career behind him. Sadly's been there as well, trying to do 2v2 and 3v3 as well. I mean, these two, this is an even matchup, and I think the coaching could help him just eke a little bit higher than Wonder Mike. What do you think, Volts?
Wonder Mike's already been on the grind today, of course, competing competitively in that 3v3 atmosphere. So we you know, you have to see how weathered is he? How much did earlier today affect him? And you know, I think it's a true test to our coach Remy here. He's 0 for 1 right now. Randy did take down Barney here. Does he go 0 for 2 tonight, or does he go 1 for 1? That's the question that we'll have to answer in a best of 5 Top Gun. And I believe it's time for at least me and Mustache to attempt to be perfect tonight.
I think it is as well. Once again, we vote, chat votes. All right, so make sure you guys get your votes in the chat, all right, to be able to win this $50 Amazon gift card if you predict correctly. All right, let's get these viewers rolling.
This is SadlyANF's viewer predictions. Who will win the series?
You know, clearly I meant viewer predictions, but it is all fine. As you can see, above us, above all 3 of us, you can get your votes in. You use the hashtags, yeah, wherever it is, it's somewhere up there between Wanda Mike and Sadly. Make sure you use the hashtags on the screen in order to get your predictions in. We're gonna start with Volts. You know, I actually pointed, and I thought I was pointing at Mustache, but then I saw I was pointing at Volts, like, you know, the reflection, but Volts, we'll just go with that. Volts, get us started.
Close enough. Oh, this is a tough one here, but I'm going to stick with my gut here. Coming into today, I had a player in mind, and I'm not going to second guess myself. We've seen his career. We know what he's capable of. I'm going with Wanda Mike here. I think the veteran experience competing against some of the best that NA has to offer on a pretty regular basis is going to be enough to propel him. I know this isn't his main game mode, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I'm going with Wanda.
Hey, you know what? I gotta agree with you. I'm already gonna lock mine in. Wanda, it's gonna be him. Again, his career has been phenomenal. He literally just got done playing in that Pittsburgh Knights Arena matchup. You can't go against him. Statistically, you have to go with Wonder Mike. Yes, I know Remy has been coaching him, and I know he's in the background listening to as I say that, but Remy, I don't know if you're going to get the coaching win after this one. I think it's going to be Wonder Mike, and I feel like you almost have to. He's going to be the behemoth of this matchup, and it's going to be Sadly as the underdog. Top Gun, though, are you going to side with us, or are you going to side against us?
I am actually going to side with you again, 2 times in one night. Essentially unheard of for us. You know, that never happens, as you both know. So once again, we all win together, or we all lose together. Is it gonna be major caster curse for Wanda Mike? Well, plus TG curse, you know? You know, I saw people saying that last time. They thought I was gonna curse Spyro, even though we all voted for him. You know, catching strays over here, catching the blame. But I think it's gonna be a fantastic matchup. With Remy's coaching. Of course, Sadly, I believe, is the underdog in this situation, and we all love a good underdog story, but sometimes you gotta go with the big dog. Sometimes you just have to. I don't think you have to go with the underdog every time. So I am going with Wanda Mike, and we do have an introduction for you for both players, as always.
I mean, you can see these these are highlight reels of each player. This is just going to go and show off what these players can do in a 1v1 situation. These aren't, 3v3 clips that we're grabbing from them. These are 1v1. These are where these players are going to pop off. And yeah, maybe some of them are a little bit more flashy to kind of hype up the gameplay, but still, Wanda Mike has that stellar career behind his name, and nothing against Sadly. We know he's been on teams before as well, but I do feel like just the fact that Wanda Mike has been able to come out of the event from earlier, maybe he's feeling good, he's vibing out there, and he's just going to come in with just a good showing here in this matchup. Remember, Volts, it's a best of 5. Do you think it's going to be a clean sweep? Do you think Sadly takes a game off? How do you think this is going to go?
I think game number 1 truly tells the story of what we're about to witness here. Again, it's a long series in a best of 5. Not only are best of 5s, a little bit longer than your standard best of 3s, but it's ones. I mean, it's going to take ample amount of time to get through this if we do go the distance or even just go 4. So I think setting the tone in game number 1, I think it'll be a really good tell for us if Sadly can keep up with Wanda Mike here, or if Mike is going to start to pull away from Sadly early and really just kind of set the tone that there's 2 different levels to this and he's on another one.
71% of you voted with the desk, throwing out the RLCS career of Wanda Mike, as probably most of you are coming in as fans of him when he was on United and such like that. But he's currently sitting on Ducks of Quack again with Omar and Alpha Kep. They did pretty well from what I saw earlier on in the night's event. I wasn't able to watch all of it as I've been here with the lovely fans that we have, and now we've got Wanda Mike versus Sadly. I was able to meet Sadly out in LA. Didn't get to talk with him too much, but I just said, hey, good luck in your matchup against Wanda Mike. I'm so excited, and now here we are. Wanda Mike versus Sadly, game 1 of a best of 5, and Sadly rocking out that Mustang Mach-E rather. Wanda trying to put it on Sadly, though, taking it to the sidewall, does get the touch, but Wanda Mike able to get a great challenge, and he's going to have control off the sidewall.
Big challenge for him, looking for an early mechanic and turned away again on the goal line by Sadly. Low boost, trying to turn this on. Wanda Mike will be there to get it to the side area. 30 seconds in, tons of fire coming out. What a save from Wanda Mike.
What a great touch from him. I thought that was in about 50% of that ball inside the net. But Wanda Mike able to get a touch on it. Another shot by Sadly. That one off the post. Dangerously could be for Sadly. A little bit of a fake, and Sadly will finally put this one in.
It took a lot of work to get that one in. 4 shots for Sadly already, and 1 big fake leads to a massive goal number 1. And wow, what a goal at that. Sadly left no doubt, got all of that one, and just like that, has a lead here in this best of 5 series.
That was just a good offensive showing from Sadly. He was constantly putting pressure on. Wanda Mike knew he had to challenge that shot, expecting a fire of a shot. And this one could be dangerous too. Wanda Mike trying to get this one over. Gets a touch. Sadly, though, sitting with no boost. Wanda Mike trying to put a shot on. Sadly going to get a save for himself. But Wanda Mike is just trying to keep the ball close. Got control. He's got 40 in the tank. Sadly, though, coming up right below him. Able to get a touch on the ball. And now he's just going to try to take it over to his own side. Regain control. Wanda Mike, though, able to bait him out. And finally get the tying goal in.
Remy highlighted it in the coaching package that we saw, and we're seeing it right now. Wanda Mike does not leave the ball alone, Mustache. Just went straight across the pitch, right back on the ball, and the pressure forces Sadly to just hand that one a little bit too far away from him, and now we're equalized again.
Oh, but this one, dangerous kickoff. If that's not a kickoff advantage, I don't know what is. Sadly going to get credited with that goal. Just Wanda Mike. I was trying to see, who hit the ball first, and they really did hit it at the exact same time, at least to my eye. So just an unfortunate kickoff in favor of Sadly, but obviously against Wonder Mike. If you're a big fan of him, like I said, 71% of you must be fans of Wonder Mike, as most of you voted that way. Wonder Mike's going to take this over to the sidewall, get that midfield boost, and see what he can do off this touch.
Dangerous back across, but Sadly pre-jumped him there to get one little touch away. Sadly went flying past. Wanda Mike just trying to regather himself. The pinch will not end up in the back of the net. So big missed opportunity for Wanda Mike here. He trails by 1 with 3 left. Great pre-jump from him, trying to knock this one down the pitch, and Sadly gets a touch and virtually shoots it off his own crossbar to keep it out.
I thought that was actually going to be on target. I thought Sadly would have taken that to the corner rather than putting it on his own net, but it doesn't matter because that one's going to go in. Sadly going to get the 2-goal lead, and Sadly is doing exactly what he needs to against Wonder Mike right now.
Looking really, really good while doing it as well, staying calm under pressure, handling the challenges that Wanda Mike is throwing at him with good precision, good accuracy, and right now looking good. This is, again, setting up to be a really good best-of-5 Mustache. Originally, I hadn't seen it going the distance, but if this is how Sadly wants to play, we could definitely see a game 4 and 5.
Oh, and Wonder Mike right off that sidewall, able to get 1 in the net, decrease that lead by 1. And you're right, I'm glad you kind of stated the fact that, remember, chat, this is a best-of-5, no longer best-of-3s tonight. So we've got some time in this one. So even if Wonder Mike were to lose, or let's say Wonder Mike comes back and Sadly loses this, it is not going to be, you know, such a nail biter like the other matchups were, because they all have time to try to take a game off. Best of 5s are so different than best of 3s. I always say in a best of 5, the game 2 is the important one, because especially if you lose game 1, you come back, you win game 2, that puts momentum in your favor. And if you win game 1 and win game 2, obviously you've got one more game to try to end this series. So game 2, the important ones, but here in game 1, we've got a Sadly lead. Wonder Mike over to his own corner. Let's see what he can do when he comes off the sidewall.
Good flick there, but just off to the left. Love watching Wanda Mike's perspective, Mustache. He's always hunting boost, always aware of his positioning. Great save off the backboard there to keep his 1-goal deficit sustained. Now Sadly trying to work the flip reset. Instead, it's just like an awkward pogo shot of sorts, and Wanda Mike did not pick up corner here, so he'll have to slow it down, looking for this wall shot again. Sadly able to climb up and reach that one. The recovery not there, and Wanda Mike still with possession as Sadly just tries to grab pads in front. He does get some, and Wanda Mike can't quite put it away. Sadly making the low boost situation work.
Unbelievable. Sadly's going to be able to put that one on. Wonder Mike almost getting robbed of these, you know, goal attempts right there. He was able to just beat out Sadly. The accuracy, though, wasn't there, and then didn't really get the touch needed. So Sadly had all the possession and now able to put one more on the board. 61 seconds left on the clock. 4-2. Wonder Mike electing not to go for that. It was an awkward kickoff, maybe planned, but now he's just got to hold on to possession. Sadly, though, has all the time. Wonder Mike going to put a shot, or I'm sorry, Wonder Mike going to get the save after Sadly's shot, but Sadly with the boost steal. He is definitely being that aggressive player, and this one's just going to fall in.
Just sneaks under there. Wanda Mike no boost to get himself off the wall any faster. And so Sadly looking really, really good. That is an awkward shot, but you can't question the method when the results work. And so 5-2 with just 41 seconds left on the clock, and Mustache here, I mean, one more goal or, you know, a couple seconds wasted, and we could be already looking towards a game number 2.
Oh my goodness. I saw that ball launch and I thought that was going to be in. It just bounces off the backboard. So again, the accuracy just not in favor of Wonder Mike right now. Sadly having all the time, and really just he has to play a possession game. He doesn't even have to essentially get the ball out towards Wonder Mike's goal anymore. He's got a 3-goal lead, almost going to be a 4-goal lead now after this one. Goes for the turtle, decides to flip back. 9 seconds left. That is going to be the nail in the coffin, I'm going to say. as Wonder Mike's going to have to turn around and win game 2. Sadly off with a great start here in the series.
This is a great start, but I'm sure Wanda Mike is aware. He's just not getting any bounces, Mustache. Just off by a couple inches. And so hopefully in game number 2, he gets a little bit more of fair Rocket League God luck on his side. Beautiful fake, but he won't take the shot. And just like that, game number 1 in favor of Sadly.
Indeed, and I saw Wonder Mike leave pretty quickly. I'm assuming he's going to go for a car change potentially, as he's just not feeling it there. You know, he wasn't able to pull out that win, and Sadly looking very good, having 14 shots, 6 goals, 5 saves, compared to Wonder Mike's 7 saves and 9 shots, but only 2 goals. Again, the accuracy just wasn't quite there for Wonder Mike, and I really feel that's what was plaguing Wonder here. But sadly, he had the accuracy, he had the ball control, doing exactly what he needs to do to take that first game. But remember, it's a best of 5, so he's got to get 2 more.
Yeah, it's a good game overall for both players there. Wanda Mike made some great saves to really hang on to this game and try to keep it close for as long as he could. But as we get ready to move down into game number 2, Mustache, what would you really like to see out of Wanda Mike?
I'd like to see a little bit more methodical play. He's not quite getting the recoveries he needs, and so I feel like Sally is being that aggressive player that we kind of alluded to in the other series. So Sally's always going to be on the ball. Wonder Mike's either going to have to keep it close or really make sure his touches are going to be on target. And I know that's easier said than done, especially in a fast-paced, high SSL game that this is going to be. But he's going to I just realized he switched to the Mach-E as well. So we've got 2 Mach-Es out there. Let's see if these electric cars are going to propel them to the win, as he figured if he can't beat them, join them. Wonder Mike, though, must work because he's going to come off with that great goal right here after 11 seconds into the game.
I love that. Can't beat him, join him. He's using a weird hitbox. Best way to match it, have the same exact hitbox. And so an early goal for Wanda Mike. Great challenge there. Sadly left just a little bit too much room between him and the ball.
So an early goal, but Sally's going to get the little bit of a Goomba stomp. Doesn't hit the crossbar. From the angle I was watching that one, I was like, man, does that really hit? But no. Sally gets the equalizer. He stops Wonder Mike's wave dash, and that is perfect. And I've seen that even in some of my own games in the GC1 ranks, where people will purposely stop underneath you to make sure you can't get the wave dash. You have no momentum, no recovery, and it's able to give the opponent just a little bit more time to figure out what they need to do. Sadly worked that out perfect.
Ooh, bold touch there from Wanda Mike, and he won't be able to keep it out. He was trying to go grab a corner there, so he wasn't completely starved, and now it's his turn. Just left a little bit too much room left. He does get a piece on the save, but just can't quite turn it away.
I really thought he was going to have that attempt, the jump from the boost pad and the boost towards the ball was a great setup, and he did get the touch, but like you said, Wanda, does he drop it down? He does! Unbelievable double tap. Sadly calling out the nice one, and we get that equalizer. Fantastic showing.
Wow, what an angle and what a shot from Wanda Mike. That is huge. Wow, the angle on that is incredible, and just like that, it's 2-2. Wanda Mike now with a big kickoff. Did bump Sadly, but he'll be able to scramble back and grab that. 0 boost, and Wanda Mike knows it, trying to get back down in front and let the boost starving begin.
You know, when you see crazy angles like Wonder Mike just got like that. And he gets the flip reset, gets it around Sally. Sally trying to go for the squishy save, not able to do so. He tried, and it was actually close, but Wonder Mike coming out with that fantastic flip to get it around. But I was going to say, you know, whenever you see these players come out with the protractor, I can't come out with it that fast. I don't understand how these players can get these angles sometimes, and Wonder Mike, that was dangerous. Almost gave Sadly an open net for the goal. Wonder Mike trying to put a shot on. Sadly gets the touch. Wanda going to have to hold on to it as he's got no boost. Gives the time to Sadly. Sadly's got the control. Wanda doesn't have the aerial, and we get all tied up yet again.
This is a great look from Sadly here. Knows he has space. It's a good pop, and just able to air dribble it over the top, got enough of it straight into the back of the net, and equalized again at 3.
3:51 left in regulation, and we are all tied up. Wanda Mike's got control, but Sally might be able to put this on target. Wanda not going to be able to get up in time for that one. I was kind of wondering. He popped it up rather than trying to launch it to the corner, and I think that was maybe the attempt there. But because it went popped up, Sadly had just an open attempt at the net. And now we got the 1-goal lead in favor of Sadly. And these kickoffs are just playing more and more crucial between these two players.
Ooh. What placement here. As this one catches the bottom left corner and kicks straight in. Thread the needle is Sadly trying to get back. Had almost all of that left side covered, but not where that one was.
I think we've seen 2 or 3 goals in the matter of about 30 seconds. Wanda Mike finally able to get this kickoff away from the neutral position. He's got the control. Gets the nice half flip. Can he bump Sally?
Oh.
He does actually get the touch, but Sally able to come around and get the save. Fantastic showing from him. Wanda Mike's got to take it to his own backboard just to regain control.
That's tough because if you're Wanda Mike, you think you've done enough to earn the goal, and Sadly with a fantastic save. If he wins this one, I think I've already found Remmy's game changer moment. Now controlling the possession, looking for the Cookser, did not come close to getting that one, and Wanda Mike will have possession at mid. 79 to work with. Sadly pre-jumps the pop, and now we'll have to back off. Low boost, good flick, and that's a well-earned goal. Make it 5 for Wanda Mike.
And I'm curious if anybody's going to question, why Wanda Mike didn't attempt to go for a challenge on Sally. He doesn't have to. Sally's using boost going up to the air like that. He went from like 70 to 26, where Wanda Mike was sitting on the ground with 79. He knew all he had to do was get the ball around. And Wanda Mike again. I'm like taking notes on this kickoff for Wanda Mike. He will half flip, turn his car backwards, and purposely angle himself towards the boost pad so that way he's able to regain control. I've not seen this in any of the ones games I've played, but maybe in these SSL ranks, they will attempt those kickoffs to make sure they can gain as much boost control as possible right from the start.
Sadly, air dribble incoming. Wanda Mike, what a save. He just doesn't have the recovery. But what a job by Wanda Mike to avoid the majority of that bump. He now has a flip here, chooses not to use it, went for the ground pinch instead. Sadly, counterattack, didn't quite get enough of it, and Wanda, again, off of his own backboard, will play it away. Didn't find the half flip. Sadly, low boost. That's an incredible pop with almost 0 there. Both these players low in the boost departments right now, and Wanda Mike trying to scramble and make this one work. He's going to be forced to let Sadly have it in the corner. Can't quite find the angle, and it's over the box harmlessly.
You know what? I've noticed that Wanda Mike will constantly go for these weird half flips and try to just turn the car. The demo coming out, and great save, as that was going to be a shot attempt by Sadly. So now Wanda Mike just coming out with the aggressive plays. Off the double, he gets the touch, but Sadly gets the save. This one should still be a goal for Wanda Mike. 2-goal lead in favor of himself.
The correction in midair from Wanda Mike right at the end there. You could see him take the 50, but he's trying to put that home. I love that correction from him, and then he's rewarded with the open net.
2-goal lead, a minute 24 left in regulation. Is it going to be enough? We know that that's a lot of time in Rocket League, especially when you're playing ones. Sadly, gonna wait for this one in the corner, gets it around Wanda Mike. Wanda Mike's gonna have to regain quickly. He doesn't have the boost. Sadly gonna try and get the angle. He does, and we're back within 1.
It's a great beat in that orange corner there. A lot of people don't like challenging in the corners, but Wanda Mike felt he could pinch it mid, and instead, Sadly, just pops it over him, does a great job to scramble down, and that's a fantastic shot. 64 miles an hour into the back of the net.
Oh, kickoff in favor of Sadly, and gets the tying goal. A minute 7 left on the clock, and just like that, you think you've got the game in a favorable position, and a kickoff goes awry.
Here we go, a reset of sorts. Equalized at 6, 107 left, and Well, still anyone's contest. This was a big game for Wanda Mike here because if he drops this, he would have to reverse sweep Sadly in this best of 5 scenario. And of course, Sadly can move to match point. Wanda Mike's flick was too high, trying to keep Sadly away from this. Sadly just won't leave him alone. Good possession grab, and this one straight back around and back in front. Sadly played it in the direction of Wanda Mike.
Oh.
Great catch, but the 50 will be a neutral one, and some good defense from Sadly.
Wow, and Sally's recoveries are definitely on point. He is able to regain himself when he needs to, because there's been a few times where I thought Wanda Mike might be able to get to the ball and make the play. Sadly, you see Wanda Mike get under Sadly to make sure he's able to stop him from regaining, but what a shot by Sadly just off the challenge. 17 seconds left, and Sadly takes the lead.
Wow, a bold turn, just leaving Wanda Mike no space to work with, and the turn yields results. So we'll see if that one goal is enough to propel Sadly to this game number. Oh, wow, what a fake kickoff here. He got him to bite. Wanda Mike, now it's a race for the corner. Doesn't even need. Corner goes for this shot. It's originally turned away and then put in.
I was so worried that wasn't going to go in for Wanda Mike. You know, when he makes that attempt, Sadly, again, with these recoveries, he's able to get control of his car every single time you think he's in an awkward position. But Wanda Mike able to use what little boost he had to get the jump needed, and we're all tied up. So again, you think the game is a guaranteed win, and right there, 4 seconds. 3, Wanda Mike puts it in. That is the smallest amount of time that you can score what's left on the clock if the ball touches the ground. 3 seconds. It's still a potential for Sadly to tie it up.
You have to think Wanda Mike fakes this kickoff here, but instead he will go, wins the kickoff, and that's all she wrote in game number 2. Equalized is where we find ourselves after 2, and that's a big win for Wanda Mike there. Escapes with the late win.
Unbelievable showing. I mean, again, you think when you see Sadly take that gold there towards the end, you're like, oh my gosh, 9 seconds, what's going to happen? And then we're able to see Wanda Mike just be resilient and able to put the shot in. Both players, I mean, this is why we're so excited for this matchup. It's so even. 8 goals to Sadly's 7. We've got 4 saves from Wanda, 6 from Sadly. It's 11 shots from Sadly, 14 from Wanda Mike. I mean, it is just neck and neck between these two opponents, and you see it out there on the pitch. They're doing everything they can to get it past the other, and it's just always going to go down to those final seconds to see who's going to win that particular game.
11 total saves from both players across games number 1 and 2, Mustache. Before we go any deeper into the series, first, I want to acknowledge your outfit change. I know you did it last time, and you were worried chat didn't notice, but wanted to point it out this time. We're rocking the bow ties here. You can see me adjusting mine. Gotta love the bow tie look. We're all dressed up for this event. It's been so much fun, and we're at least guaranteed a game number 4 now.
We wanted to put on a show. I know these players are putting on a show out there on the pitch. And boy, what a show it is. Game number 3, the series is tied up. And Wanda Mike off the kickoff. Is he going to be able to regain control? Again, sadly, I don't even know where he's... His boost management is just on point because Wanda Mike should be the first one to touch that ball, but you see Sadly come in with a fantastic challenge and then able to come off the wall and put it in the back of the net 9 seconds into the game.
Yeah, again, tip your cap to Sadly's boost management. It's really what's keeping him in this series, and it certainly has to be frustrating to Wanda Mike because every time Sadly's supposed to be on 0, he's just not. And there, Wanda Mike was patiently waiting for the ball to pop in front of him, and Sadly just turns with 11 and knocks it away. Double incoming. Wanda Mike got it, just can't find the angle, but he will get the corner boost starve here.
And I believe, Sadly is sitting at 51. Wanda Mike trying to put that in, and he does put it low enough. Sadly gets the touch, but it just bounces towards the ground. I'm kind of watching from Sadly's point of view now. and Sadly just a little bit too high on that backboard. So when he came off the backboard, he was above the ball and just basically keeps it pinched to the ground. Unfortunate for Sadly, good for Wanda, but that's not good, as that kickoff is not going to be what you want if you're a Wanda Mike fan, and Sadly regains the lead.
It was a great shot from Wanda Mike to turn around and have a little hiccup on the kickoff there. So an unfortunate break for him. He'll trail by 1 again, but plenty of time left in this one. It's just 2-1, and we've only played 30 seconds here. Sadly went for boost. Wanda Mike ground pinch attempt-ish, didn't quite go. Now he'll be forced to turn it mid. Great turn there. Sadly being chased. You can see Wanda Mike on his screen. Went for the pinch. Didn't quite find it, and that is going to be a huge third goal.
These shots by Sadly, he cannot miss right now. 19 off of the wall, uses every ounce of boost, and just under the crossbar it falls in. Sadly is being relentless out here on the pitch and really making the pro Wanda Mike have to work for it.
Work for it and grind for it here. Wanda Mike wanted to take it backwards and grab mid. Sadly just there to cut it out. Half flip challenge is not a good one. Sadly's awkward though, and he won't be able to capitalize. Now Wanda Mike trying to put this one down and in. Found a demo. Depends on the spawn. And Sadly with a rough spawn will not be there to save this.
I almost thought this shot attempt from Wanda Mike, I'm watching from his point of view now, I thought he was a little bit too far away. I misjudged the length of the nose of this Mustang, and I really thought he wasn't going to be able to get a powerful enough touch to put it on that far post. He proved me wrong. He's able to put it in. He's back within 1, but Sadly still holding on to that lead, and the speed of his just attack isn't going to help him there, as Wanda Mike's going to take that one away. I wanted to see what was going to happen. Wanda Mike, great steal.
Right out from under him is where that one goes, and the wave dash just to make sure it ends up in the back of the net. 3-3, 3:36 left. In this last swing game of the series here, we're effectively into a best of 3, with each player having won in our best of 5 so far. The big pop up in front. Wanda Mike doesn't want to take any chances. Reconnects to the ceiling, and he's off on his merry way. And now it's Sadly looking for the flip reset. He did get it. Fake under, but it won't go. I don't know if Wanda Mike got a piece of it, but he just got a massive piece of Sadly.
And Wanda Mike won't be able to beat Sadly to it. That's unfortunate, as that ball was rolling. Neither of them had boost. The flick, what a musty to come around. Unbelievable showing. Wanda Mike throwing up the nice shot. You know when these players actually draw it out, they know that, hey, I got to give you kudos. That was a great shot.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot. So much speed behind that as well. And the placement of such a high-level mechanic. Always impressive here. Sadly immediately turned off kickoff. Even though he's low boost, he'll be boost-starved in the corner. Wanda Mike back in front. Will have it played all the way back to his own corner. A big pickup there for Sadly. Popped over to the backboard. Wanda Mike going to have to wait on Sadly's touch, and he'll be back into the blue box. Now a long pop incoming. Wanda Mike reset over. You're just going to use it to wave dash and catch and dribble.
What a dirty cut. I didn't know we were watching Tokyo Drift over here. With the Mustang, just gets that crazy turn on that ball. Able to cut that in. 2:36 left on the clock. We are all tied up. These players are doing everything that they can out here on the pitch. Wanda Mike having to go for that corner boost. Sadly, gonna try to get this one around. Wanda Mike with a fantastic save. He's got the control, but Sadly's got the full tank.
Sadly had the full tank, just got launched, and now Wanda Mike will pick up mid. Has to be careful here, as Sadly does have a touch to it. Good flick on, and back down to the orange end we go. Nearing the 2 minutes remaining mark. Knotted at 4, and series is everything we could have asked for so far. Sadly, good control, looking for the air dribble bump here. Wanda Mike up, can't make the save, and Sadly will take the lead again.
And I do like the attack that Wanda Mike had. He knows he can't go for it, because either A, Sadly gets the little bump over Wanda if he's up too late, or if Sadly elects to leave the ball and go for the bump. Wanda can't exactly challenge it too soon. He tries to get the challenge right there at the crossbar to see if he can't get the pinch out. Wanda Mike dropping down on this one. He's not going to be able to get in front of the ball just to see if he can't put a shot on. Sally's going to be there. He doesn't go for it either. But yeah, Wanda off the backboard. Does he get the double? He does. It's still in front of the net. He's just got to turn. Not going to be able to put that one on. That is going to be unfortunate for sure if you're a Wanda Mike fan. And now he's just got to take it over to his own half. Never mind. He is able to cut as Sally doesn't have the boost. Still, can he put this Doomsy on? Sally gets the great save off the backboard. It goes.
Sadly doing a great job of frustrating Wanda Mike. Big boost steal twice there. Got mid and corner. Wanda knows he can't put it too far away from him, and he'll make 12 work here. Is able to grab the possession now. Still just staying close to this one. Good flick. Hasn't burned the 12. So good with the boost management. So good with the boost management, but he won't have the boost to score that one. And so he'll continue to trail by 1. Wave dash doesn't come through. Sadly, the double to put it away, and it touches crossbar. It goes back out.
Unbelievable. Sally almost having that double tap. Remember, 35 seconds left. Wanda Mike down by 1. Sally just trying to hold on to the possession, making sure that Wanda Mike doesn't have any type of shot attempt. Wanda off of the ceiling. Does get the touch. Kind of gets a little bit of a bump on Sally. Can he get the flick over? He puts it in. 17 seconds. We're all tied up.
This is an incredible shot. It just barely gets out of the reach of Sadly. He can't turn it away. And just like that, another nail biter forming here. 17 left, and we're knotted at 5.
Off the corner, Sally's got control. He's going to take this over to the sidewall, see if he can bait out Wanda Mike. Sally going to try to come around. Wanda, great save. Gets it over. Wanda's got control. He's got 5 seconds. 4. It is going to fall. He tried to drop it. Or I'm sorry, he tried to get the flick to stop the time. He doesn't want to give Sadly enough time to get some crazy kickoff. Unless the ball bounces off of a wall, off of kickoff, there's no way that Sadly can score, and this should be a win for Wanda Mike.
Big kickoff. Here it goes off to the left, and just like that, Wanda Mike has stolen game 3 away, and he now leads the series 2-1.
And what a thrilling fashion. And Wanda Mike has had to do it almost in the final 20 seconds of every game. I mean, it's just, that's how close this series is. 2 saves for Wanda, 3 for Sadly, 9 shots for Sadly, 10 shots for Wanda Mike. It's going to be this way throughout the night. I could see this with a Sadly winning game 4 and we go to game 5. I honestly, if I had to come into this knowing what I know now, I don't know if I would have been convinced that it would have been a Wanda Mike win and my prediction would have gone that way. I mean, this is so neck and neck between these two that it is so hard to guess who is even just going to win that particular game that we're in.
Everything we could have asked for. And as we move to game number 4, I mean, both these players are playing so well. It's come down to 1 or 2 decisive moments. I mean, we've seen some incredible musty flicks. We've seen some insane recoveries, and mechanics are flying, and game knowledge is elite. So as we head back down to Champions Field, it's game number 4. Match point for Wanda Mike, while Sadly is looking to give us the content we really want and force game number 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip through my script here and see. I didn't get sent that page. Did you get sent the last page? I didn't get it. I don't know if we're going to a game 5, ladies and gentlemen, but Sadly's gonna try and do it. Let's see what can happen. Game number 4 on the docket now. And again, another stalled kickoff. And I do feel the whole series can start and stop at the kickoffs. I mean, that's just how crucial each little volley between the players has been, is who comes out with that better kickoff.
Long shot will not go. Wanda Mike able to turn it away. He's going to need another good recovery. That one's off the post. Mike still in some danger, and Sadly will put away goal number 1 there. It took him a couple tries, but again, can't question the method when the results are good.
Yeah, when you have that many attempts, Wonder Mike can only do so much. I mean, any defender, I don't care who you are, I don't care how long you've played this game, there's only so much you can do when there are shots relentlessly getting put off of your backboard. You have to attempt, or you have to think that every shot is going to be right on target, and so you try to make the save, and after a while, the defense just breaks down, and a goal falls through. So it is what it is. Sadly, going to get that one through, as Wonder Mike sadly wasn't able to read what Sadly was doing.
Yeah, thought he was going for the shot in the back right corner, and instead it ends up front left, and Wonder Mike simply just not able to recover there. So a big 2-goal lead for Sadly in a must-win game for him. Wonder Mike gonna need to head back to the drawing board and maybe come up with a different game plan, because right now it is not working out too well. He's given Sadly a lot of space.
That space has been working out for Sadly ever since the start of game number 4. And like we were talking about at the end of game 3, I'm not convinced that this doesn't end up a Sadly win. I mean, that's just how close this matchup has been, but that's going to help Wonder Mike, as Sadly didn't get the touch.
Yeah, no touch comes through. It's an awkward ball there. And so a real gift of sorts to Wonder Mike, who had been struggling to find any kind of offense here in game number 4. And so just like that, the lead sliced in half. Wonder Mike, good delay kickoff from Sadly, and just as the lead was cut down, it's re-extended.
I'm telling you, these kickoffs are so important. And I just feel like whenever you think, oh, you've got the lead, some kickoff goes awry for the opposite player and the lead gets diminished and we get tied up. So Sadly currently leading rather with a 2-goal lead, 3:40 left in regulation. Can he add another one? He tries to, but Wonder Mike with a fantastic save comes off that sidewall, has the momentum, tries to drop it down. Sadly gets the touch, and Wonder Mike's not going to be able to beat Sadly, but he tries to just knock him off his path. The boost momentum that Sadly had is just going to propel him to be where he needs. That one, though, is going to be on target. Ooh, lead back down to 1.
That is a laser into the back of the net. Good bump onto Sadly, puts him awkward, and Wonder Mike 54 into the bottom right, and that's after it slowed down a little bit. He got all of that one left, no doubt, and the lead back to 1 rather than the 2 where it's been for what feels like the majority of game number 4.
Another kickoff, but this one could be favorable for Wonder Mike. Sadly, though, he's got the recovery. He does. Wonder Mike's going to have to try yet again to see if he can get this one around. He goes for the flip reset. He does get it, but not going to be the one that he wants. Sadly tries to put the shot on, and when I say try, he succeeds, and we've got the 2-goal lead yet again.
Just like that, back to 2 goals again. So I think that's where we're going to sit for most of this game number 4 until the very end. That seems to be the theme of Wonder Mike. Just kind of wait till the end of the game and then really turn it on. This is a huge kickoff pinch that'll end up all the way back out of the midfield area. Wonder Mike, bold move, but will possess. He's going to starve the corner of Sadly as well, but up with 16 is Sadly. Good contest, and starved one more time. Wonder Mike grabbed that corner. Sadly with one pad, it'll make it work, and we're back down to the blue corner.
Away from the blue corner, it is launched. Wonder Mike has to go for one more attempt and able to beat Sadly's dodge into him. Sadly was trying to bump Wonder Mike off his path, and close call, but Wonder Mike puts it in, and the lead is back to 1.
It's a great shot from Wonder Mike there. Sadly tried to pre-jump where he thought the shot was going to be going, and then just never ended up there. Delay kickoff will work, but neither player went straight for ball. Both want some boost in the tank. Sadly with 67 to work with. Incoming air dribble, and Wonder Mike was ready for it this time. Good save. He'll also earn his corner there, and Sadly will be forced to give him some space.
Wonder Mike, though, these light shots from him just aren't quite working out. Sadly's got all the boost. He's able to turn. He's got the air dribble. Is he going to be able to cut on it? No. Wonder Mike able to gain the corner, comes off the ceiling, tries to go for a flip reset, drops it down. He didn't get the flip reset. Sadly with a fantastic save, though. It was a good attempt. He was able to get the angle needed. Sally in the air. Gonna try and get this one around, and an easy save for Wonder Mike as well. So both of them making the attempt on the transition now is Wanda with a nice 45, and Sadly gonna help that one in. We're all tied up.
Tough spot for Sadly to be in there. It's the only place he can get a touch and his only chance to keep it out, and just ends up putting a howitzer into his own corner there. But level one more time, 135 left, tied at 4, and again, for the 4th time, headed to yet another nail-biter late.
You know what? I believe I saw someone in chat earlier say that ones is a team sport, or who didn't say that ones isn't a team sport, because obviously Wonder Mike passed that one out to Sadly. Sadly puts it in, and we get to the current position that we're in right now. That one not going to roll in. Sadly can't get the touch. He goes for the Doomsday. Almost made it, actually. Wonder Mike had to try to get the save on it, and Sadly going to get the save here. So we are still tied up, 64 seconds left. He's got the boost. Wonder Mike goes for the flip reset. I believe he may have gotten it, but wasn't able to hold on to the control or the possession. Sally just being that nuisance player like we typically see in one. Sally will go for literally any and all attempts at the ball. Wonder Mike gets the flip, goes for it, tries to get the bump, can't do so, so he's going to have to recover quickly as Sally's going to launch this one down the pitch.
Good attempt at the bump, and the recovery not as fast as it needed to be there, and sadly will take advantage. But he's been in this situation with a 1-goal lead and under 60 on the clock. Can he hang on this time? Does he flip the script and send us to a game 5?
37 seconds left. What did we say? Wonder Mike always in the final 20, able to do crazy and clutch things. That's one way to start. 33 seconds left. We're all tied up.
33 seconds left and equalized again. I love how close these contests have been. Back and forth all over the place. And now we have to find a game 4 winner. This is the business end of game number 4.
Wonder Mike off the sidewall. 29 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. 5-5. Goes for the musty. It doesn't matter. It doesn't connect because it falls right in. 24 seconds left. A goal by Wonder Mike puts him in the lead. And remember, this is series match point for Wonder Mike.
6-5, 24 seconds left. We need a good kickoff out of Sadly to head to a game 5, or even the potential of an overtime here to force a game 5. Wonder Mike didn't go for kickoff, and Sadly will have to scramble back to his own corner. Fake in the corner, fake yet again. Wonder Mike thought about the half flip challenge, but instead will elect to let Sadly play it out, and maybe that's a mistake because with 10 seconds left, we're tied.
Unbelievable showing from Sadly. Wonder Mike just didn't get the hit needed. He wanted that one to go all the way to the side. Instead, it falls center for Sadly. And Sadly will not miss those. 6-6, all tied up. 10 seconds left. Sadly gonna launch this one over. Didn't expect Wonder Mike to fake a kickoff yet again. Wanda off the sidewall. No. Sadly nowhere to be found. 3 seconds left. Wanda puts it in.
Oh my goodness, Wonder Mike. It was such a bold challenge from Sadly, and Wonder Mike made sure he even got back down to the ground for this one just to make sure that he has the tap into the net. So close. Now with 2 seconds left, Sadly has to pop this up. Wonder Mike will challenge, and it's straight into the ground. It's done in 4. Wonder Mike drops game 1 mustache and then immediately wins 3 straight.
Unbelievable showing between the two of them. Wonder Mike, in 3 games in a row, gets the clutch goal within the final 20 seconds, maybe even the final 15 seconds. I myself may have to go back through all the games to figure out when those clutch goals happen, but regardless, it happened, and Wonder Mike comes out with the series win. Sadly, just making these games close, each one only decided by a single goal, and they pretty much always were neck and neck in saves and shots. Unbelievable showing by these two, but Wonder Mike, GG's on the win.
GG's on the win, but Mustache, it was so much closer than we thought it was going to be. Sadly put up an incredible fight.
Oh, indeed. And I'm looking over the entire game. 18 goals to 22, or I'm sorry, it just got added. It was 23 goals for Wonder Mike. I mean, just unbelievable showing from them. the amount of saves, the amount of shots on target. I mean, this was a high offense, but even just as much defense as well. So a good showing from the two of them. I mean, unbelievable. I'm speechless. So many crazy attempts, and then you see Wonder Mike win at the end. I mean, if that's not ones in a nutshell, when somebody wins in the final seconds, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that is the epitome of ones right there, and to the point. You might be down, but you are never out. And so you've heard our thoughts, and it's time we turn it over to Top Gun to hear what she thought of our main event.
Oh man, you guys, I was literally like on the edge of my seat throughout the whole entire time. Man, they were such good games. Broadcast team got the dub there in the prediction. I think both Mike and Sadly had wonderful games. It was a wonderful series. Didn't one of Mike literally won each game by like 1 goal in the final like 10 seconds, man, which is insane. Pressure's built up at that point. It's a tied game, and instead of sending it into OT, gets the dub in the final like 10 seconds, as I said. Well played to both Sadly and Wanda Mike. Fantastic series. We've had a lot of fantastic series tonight, actually, and I'm so happy for all the contestants involved tonight. As I said, they've been all fantastic, all wonderful. We do have one more $50 Amazon gift card to give away, though. If you predicted Wanda Mike to win this series, then you have a chance to win this $50 Amazon gift card for this series, along with the other series that had happened. So let's go ahead and see who won the prize.
Here is Dynamic D's prize winner.